prior to him, and just how I would be at home, he would be out already, and he would say, come meet me such and such place, and I would just jump up and go. I would be already in my, pajamas, whatever, and I just thought, well, you know what, I'm going to go because he wants to see me, I want to see him, and I knew that he was talking to other women because when I would be with him, his phone would be always vibrating or ringing. And so I thought, well, if I don't go, she's going to be there. So I'll just jump up and go even though I don't feel like it. I didn't really want to that day, but I'll jump up and go. So, yeah, I mean, you're right because I was always jumping up to go seeing whether I felt like it or not.
Which one is this, the guy now or the guy in the past that told you?
No, the guy a year prior to the police guy.
Okay, so you fucked him for a year. Or did you know him for a year before and then you fucked him for 6 months?
Right. That's it. I knew him a year prior and then we had sex for about 6 months.
Okay, when you knew him the year before you started fucking him, what kind of relationship was it like and how did he treat you?
Well, we had just met on a double date. My girlfriend wanted to go out with his friend, and so me and him was kind of like a blind date or whatever. And we talked off and on, but, he was saying things that were kind of turning me off or whatever, so I kind of slowed down.
What was he saying?
He wanted the same thing he was doing a year earlier, just wanted me to meet him for drinks. Hey, when you going to spend the night with me? And the verbal conversation really wasn't that great. And he always wanted to just text. And so I said, you know what, he ain't all that no way. So I just kind of dropped it, because I'm like, I'm not going to just keep meeting you at some club. He would always, it would be like clockwork, around 11 o'clock. He would always call to say, yeah, me and my boys are at such and such place, come and meet me. And I would a few times first, but then it got old. It got old real quick. And so I said, enough of that,
Wait, I'm trying to understand. So during the year you knew him, the first year, you had sex with him during that first year?
Yes, I did.
Okay, did you really enjoy the sex and you liked him?
Yeah, it was pretty good, it was all right.
So I'm saying you obviously liked him.
Yeah, I liked him. I really wanted to get to know him because all I knew of him was just the physical. He was a very attractive man, muscular, fine, all that kind of stuff. He was about 4 or 5 years older than me.
Okay, so you liked the way this man looked and you liked the way he fucked. Did you feel safe or comfortable around him? It's like, what were the things other than the sex and the looks that really drew you in and wanted to continue to pursue to see if there's going to be something more serious?
Well, I wanted to just get to know him beyond the fact that, he's fine and, he has a nice body. I really was trying to talk to him on the level of, hey, let's get to know each other, but he was just pretty much like, come meet me at this club. And that's why I had kind of cut it off like, you know what, this is getting old. I know you fine and everything, but that's not enough anymore.
So when you go to the club, what would happen?
He would buy me a drink. We would sit and, dance or, just be together that night, and then, of course, afterwards, I would go to his place, and sometimes I would spend the night, sometimes I wouldn't.
Okay, so when you were there spending the night, what was going on?
Just sex.
Okay. How often during that year did he invite you out to clubs and then sex?
It would be almost
every week or once a week?
It would be probably every, either a Friday or a Saturday whenever he would go out. Or I would be out already with friends, and he would say, oh, come meet us at such and such place. So it would be about every weekend almost.
Okay. So during that first year, you did this, for the whole year or a certain...
No, it wasn't the whole year because I got tired of it quick. It got old. And some nights when I was out with my girlfriends, he'd say, come meet me here or just come to my house when y'all are done. I started not responding to it and saying, I'm out having a good time. I'm not finna come meet you. I just kind of got sick of it. So it wasn't for the entire year.
So what, about 6 months, 3 months? How long?
Maybe that time also was about 6 months.
Okay, so did you want a relationship with him, and did he ever tell you where this was going, or did you go in again like the happy, hungry little puppy, just being led, being pulled along, they controlling you, they controlling the situation, and then you're hoping that this turns into something else the longer you fuck them and spend time with them?
Yeah, I was really trying to talk to him and do things with him besides meeting him at some club. But when I saw that really wasn't going to happen, then I was just like, he ain't trying to talk, and his conversation ain't that great verbally. He always just wants to text a conversation. So I just, I didn't pursue it anymore.
So he never wanted to take you to his mother's house. He never wanted to take you to movies. He never wanted to take you to plays. He never wanted to have dinner with you. It's always, bitch, meet me at the club. I'm going to get you a drink. We're going to dance a little bit. I'm going to slide up in your ass, and then I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
And he never had any deep conversation with you. He never told you that, I really like you. That's why I keep asking you out. I want to be seen with you. I want to really pursue creating a more serious relationship. Let's go to church together. Let's do some other things together besides club and drinking and fucking and sucking. He never told you that. Did you ever say that to him? That this is what you wanted? Did you ever say it when you was pulling your drawers down? Did you say it when you pulling your drawers up? What, wiping dick juice off your mouth, your chin? At some point, did you say anything?
Well, I think we had a conversation once about, I like you, how do you feel? He said, I like you too. I think you got my best interest at heart. You real cool. I like you as a person. Just think general, like the common laugh or whatever that.
But he never said, I like you too, and I have your best interest at heart, and I would really like to get to know you better.
No.
And finally, so you letting this go on like this. Then, a year goes by, then you say he contacts you again, or you contact him?
My girlfriend called me and said that he wanted my number again. And I said, for what? And she said she didn't know, just that his friend called her and he wanted my number again. I was like, okay. So she gave him my number and he called. And so the conversation was really weird. He was like, did you call me last night, the other night? I was like, no. And he was like, well, somebody left a message on my voicemail that sounded like your voice. And I'm like, no, I didn't call you. I was like, so what, somebody called you saying that, I just, guessed this. I was like, somebody must have called you and said that you got her pregnant. And he was like, yeah, but it wasn't, the timing was off, and at the time, you was the only one I was fucking. So this person that left a voicemail, it sounded like your voice, and it sounded like she was talking so fast, I couldn't catch what the name was. I said, well, no, it wasn't me. So then the conversation was pretty much over with at that point. I was like, oh, that was weird. So I kind of left it alone, but then I decided to text him and said that I was hoping that you wanted my number again so we could start back hanging out or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I basically kicked it off the second time around. And, just wanted to see what had he been up to, blah, blah, blah. And so I kicked it off pretty much the second time around.
That was last year?
Mhm.
And what happened when you got back together and he started talking? What was said and what was he looking for, and what were you looking for? First of all, too, do you have paper and pencil? Because I want you to be taking these notes while we're talking and go back to these things. Because I want you to listen to this again. I'm talking about take your time and listen to this, because I'm like doing kind of a like an introductory kind of questionnaire and letting people see how I do, give them an idea of how I life coach people. And this is just like a preliminary. We're basically going, I'm getting an idea of your history, and I want you to get an idea. of your history as well, your pattern.